Okay, hang on. Recording starts now.
What's
Welcome
up? It's your
everyone.
boy.
Fuck off!
and the podcast is cancelled. Sorry, guys. It's all over.
Fuck off. Fuck you guys. Welcome everyone to the Sorrowful Boys podcast. I'm your host, the lovely Swede, the Forceman. And here with me is Roe Deer. Introduce yourself.
Yes, hello. My name is Roe Deer or Ali, depending on what these guys end up calling me in the podcast. And I'm from Scotland, and I love big hugs and walks on the beach, and dogs, and that is my character.
That sounds like a Tinder profile.
It is my Tinder profile.
God damn it.
Wow, I think I also said something about having a weird cool cat fetish in my Tinder profile, but that's for another time, I'm sure. Alright,
stop stealing other ladies.
What was a voice crack?
Lorenzo / Titty Juice 420. What is your story?
I'm 15 and sad, and I live in a place where you can't chew gum.
And then you can leave the comments
subscribe
to figure out which country that would be. It can't be that difficult to figure out, except I didn't know that about the country you're living in, so I guess I'm stupid. I don't know. Alright, sorry. What are we talking about today, humongous?
We're going to start talking about all the Marvel films, starting from the first one released to the latest one released. That is Infinite War, which we're going to have a large discussion about.
Infinity
War. Fuck off.
Infinite War.
I wrote it down as Infinite War. I thought about Bioshock Infinite, and then.
All right, we're gonna talk about all the Marvel movies, and then at the end we'll talk about Call of Duty: Infinite Warfare. Good plan, guys.
We're going to have.
Please subscribe for more podcasts.
The Marvel movies. We're just gonna speak about them very shortly.
Right after this message.
Right. We're starting with the Marvel films. And the first one released in 2008 is Iron Man. What's your opinion on Iron Man, everybody?
I was waiting for you to talk, I'm sorry.
God damn it.
Iron Man.
Someone start.
It's one of the better ones, I'd say. Lorenzo, what's your opinion on Iron Man? When was the last time you saw Iron Man?
2008. I was 5.
Do you remember anything about it?
I remember Robert Downey Jr. was a big weapon guy that his heart gets fucking out. Yeah.
Without spoiling it. Without spoiling it, probably.
Well,
actually, no. Is this going to be a?
It's been 10 years.
Are we just gonna? Is this just going to be like?
We're doing spoilers. We're doing spoilers. It's a discussion
for all the Marvel
everyone
movies.
knows. Everyone who don't have to even see the movie to know what's gonna happen, because
it's a bit predictable.
You've seen Iron Man in all the other films, and you've seen what's has happened to him. So there's no spoilers needed.
Guys, Happy dies in Iron Man. My favorite character.
He gets resurrected off screen.
He's actually in the Soul Stone, and they're gonna bring it. Do you think Happy died in Infinity War?
Oh fuck! I don't care.
We haven't got to that place yet.
All right, fair enough. Sorry. Well, Iron Man.
This is so bad.
I can say my opinions, because you fucks can't do it. I really like Iron Man. It's a really great and refresher film. If we are in 2008, I would say it's really refreshing, and it was good. 2/3 of the films were really good. The beginning is really great. The middle is really great, and then the third just turned to shit. It just fucks up.
Excuse me. I thought that's like what did. Yeah, you first.
The ending, like everything. The third act.
It's about the most boring ending they could have gone with, but it felt a bit like tacked on. Like they weren't sure how to end the movie,
Yeah,
and
it's
like
pretty
it's
much.
because it started off so strong, but then they just kind of like, oh, big. Here's a bigger robot. Wowee.
I think it kind of gave influence to like the other Marvel films to make the same boring third acts, because a lot of those films have bad third acts, and at least this was the first movie to start it.
Yeah,
Because
that's fair.
like every we see in the beginning that we see his we first see him as this egotistical money freak who is obsessed with money. I don't know.
Money hungry.
He's obsessed with attention, and he doesn't care for others' well-being. And we see him get hurt by his own weapons, and he gets helped by
the sex scene
someone.
in the beginning.
Which sex scene? Oh yeah, I do remember that. This is a kind of not a very Marvel movie. Like, you know, as far as Marvel goes, like I guess I wonder what the consensus was on Iron Man when, like, since it was the first Marvel movie to be released. Like in this MCU, I mean. Like, I wonder what that was like when, like, in a world where you can't look at a movie and go, oh, that was good for a Marvel movie. Because that's like usually my mindset when I go into Marvel movies, which is fine because I enjoy Marvel movies. But like I don't know, because Iron Man it's got an unlikable main character, at least to begin with.
Yeah.
It's got sex scene, kinda. It's got it's got horrific violence. It's a good movie. It doesn't really pull punches, which I appreciate, I guess, and that's where Marvel kind of it became a bit sanitized for a little bit. But Iron Man was a good, really strong start to this saga we've ended up on.
I now realize that I'm not qualified for this because I don't remember anything.
It's fine. Well, as we go, we'll remember it more. The different movies. We'll move on to the next one, so we don't spend too much time on.
What's your opinion on Jeff Bridges, the villain in the film?
He looked very evil, so he's very good.
He was a very evil, overweight man. He had a nice beard.
He was overweight?
I think so. He just looked very fat.
He kind of looks like
in my mind.
Like he kind of looks like an older Keemstar, don't you think? Like,
I guess.
Like, you know, he's bald and he has a beard.
I think that's giving Keemstar a bit of credit. If Jeff Bridges is older Keemstar.
Yeah. But
yes.
I would say I talked with Ollie earlier yesterday, and I think I said something that the villain just felt like it was the dude Lebowski who tried to play a villain. Tried to
like his idea of what
a villain, but it didn't work.
It kind of felt like a parody, like a Coen Brothers parody villain. In a way, which
he wasn't.
Which unfortunately became the template for all Marvel villains for like a while.
Oof.
At least until like Iron Man 3, I think.
Jeff Bridges shouldn't play like. I don't think Jeff Bridges should play like villains and okay, not the villains like that, but
he's too likable.
He's supposed to be. He's good at playing silly characters.
He's
the most serious character I've seen him play is True Grit, and he was kind of silly in that movie too. So
I haven't even seen True Grit. I'm sure it's good though. Oh, sorry.
I don't know what True Grit is.
It's the cowboy.
With Hailey Steinfeld, like her first movie.
But when she was young.
Yeah. Oh, she was like 14. Oh no, illegal.
Oh no!
I'm going to prison.
And this is where we move on to Incredible Hulk before things get weird.
We move on to. So Iron Man we all agree that Iron Man was a good, except Lorenzo who saw it too.
What's up?
Yeah, I don't think
we agree that Iron Man it's a good movie, but like the third act.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it was a very strong start to the series that they've built up. And I don't think the MCU would still be around if Iron Man wasn't as good as it was to begin with.
Yeah. And now when we're talking about good stuff, we can move to the bad stuff as the Incredible Hulk.
When was the last time you guys saw Incredible Hulk?
I saw
don't
like
know.
half of the. I think I've seen parts of Incredible Hulk, but that was years ago too. So
This one will be short because I don't remember shit. I saw it in
Yeah.
2008.
I remember. The only thing I remember liking is like when in the end, because I was still 5, so then they're like punching shit. They're like punching each other, like, oh, this
Yeah.
is nice, this is great. 10 out of 10.
I think I actually remember, as an
Nice
8-year-old,
punch.
when I saw it in the theater, I do remember thinking that was a bit bad. And I didn't have a taste when I was 8. Like, I liked The Last Airbender and shit, so it's like, you know.
I remember there wasn't like a lot. I remember that it wasn't like a lot of action in that movie. It was just at the end, and the end action scene sucks. I've seen that thing I saw.
I think my exposure is the film I saw in 2008 and the Nostalgia Critic review, and that's about it.
I haven't seen that review.
Hell yeah.
It might be a review. I don't know if it was him or if it was someone else, but I saw a review of Incredible Hulk.
Oh. I think the most interesting and the weirdest part is that like Edward Norton sucks in it.
He's very bland. He's not even close to Tony Stark.
It's like it's so baffling. Like Edward Norton is such a great actor, and
and
how does it work? He's made so much great stuff, and then he just sucks. Sucks.
Do you think did you think he kind of pulled it out of his ass? Because he didn't realize, I don't know if he knew he was going to be a franchise, or if, because I don't know, because he doesn't seem like he cared, as far as I remember.
I'm just so glad that Mark Ruffalo took over.
He's a very good portrayal of the character, I think. Although I don't know much about Hulk, and Bruce Banner as characters. I've only got the exposure of the movies and also Lego games.
The only thing Edward Norton is going for it is that he looks more like the comic book character. I think I've watched some TV animated shows, and Edward Norton resembles like Bruce Banner better, but
that's not doesn't mean anything.
That's
does it, if the movie is bad.
I just try to find some positive things.
I think what's confusing is that the two Hulk movies have the same cast apart from Edward Norton. Like, the love interest is the same, but it's like a new universe, so it's not even canon to the first Hulk. And I think that's what confused me. Or unless the original Hulk is supposed to be an MCU film? I don't know, because it starts off with him being Hulk already. So I assumed it was like a sequel when I was 8.
It also is like the Incredible Hulk, it shouldn't have existed in the Marvel, because isn't there like a love interest in the film, and it's never mentioned in the other Marvel films.
Yeah.
Nothing is mentioned from.
I think Incredible Hulk's kind of been retconned from existence.
Yeah,
not just from the MCU. Yeah, but I think we can move on because it's like there's not much to say.
I think they kind of did the decision to replace Edward Norton. So from another pile of shit, we move over to another pile of shit. Iron Man 2.
I haven't seen this one, so you guys can go nuts on it.
I remember liking it.
You remember liking it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, when did it come out? Because I don't remember. I've seen a lot of these movies only once. So I was, how old was I? Shit.
It came out in 2010, so 8 years ago.
Was it 2010? Was that when they were only releasing one a year?
Yeah, because they were still.
Wow.
Yeah, times have changed.
I guess. Sorry, go ahead. That was all. That was the interjection, the section.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
Is
it good?
Lorenzo. Say Lorenzo, you start.
No. I still don't remember anything. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to contribute anything until whenever the fuck, like 2013.
You know what I did? I used to watch it lots of years ago. But you know what I did? I skipped over the 2/3 of the movie and only watched the end action scene with the all fights.
Yeah, because
bunch of robots.
Because, yeah.
That's the only thing I cared about it.
That's what I used to do a lot. I forgot shit. God damn it, I'm trying to remember.
I think it's kind of like this is everything that it's completely different. It's like from the first Iron Man movies. I think the third act is honestly the most fun part about the film because there's just lots of action and like dumb shit happening. But it's fun because the other parts are just there's nothing happening. Everything is just.
You know that,
and he gets in a race for some reason. There's a guy with a whip. And,
Elon Musk is in Iron Man too.
Yeah.
Like he had a cameo. Like he talked there. Hey, we have this idea for a thing, and then that's it.
Yeah, and like the guy with the whip, he had nothing to protect his face or his like body, so someone could have just shot him. Honestly, he had no defenses, so. He was out in the race field, and there were like lots of cops there, and no one like even tried to like shoot him. They just let him rip the cars in half with his gay ass whips.
His gay ass. He kind of does look like a gay. Like, he looks like a gay porn parody version of another villain. Like he was like shirtless, right?
Yeah.
Is
this Mickey Rourke's character? Does he look kind of bad?
I need to check it.
The guy with the whip. Whiplash. Miles Teller.
Whiplash. Oh yeah, Miles Teller was a villain in Iron Man 2.
It was wild. He played drums to death and killed Tony Stark with his mad skills.
Yeah.
Is Sam Rockwell the bad guy in this movie? Because I'm looking at like screenshots. And he's here.
Sam Rockwell, is he blonde with glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's he's actually the best part, I think.
Oh, Mjolnir's in it.
I don't remember him much. I don't remember like the movie much.
Wait, Mjolnir
is the hammer.
Like at the end, they were teasing Thor.
Yeah, because there's a picture of Mjolnir in the IMDb.
Speaking of Thor,
is that the next one?
Actually, we skip over this pilot ship. Holy shit! The phase 1 of Marvel has so many bad movies.
It wasn't strong. I mean, I guess they were finding their footing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So 4, what's you guys?
Wait, who directed Iron Man 2?
Iron Man 2, that was. Give me a second.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, the same guy as Iron Man 1.
No.
You seen Chef?
No.
I haven't.
Chef is great. Chef is great. I love Chef.
I think he must have been creatively
bankrupt.
No, like the Marvel producer says, you must set up the Avengers because Iron Man 1 made lots of money.
Iron Man 2 didn't really set up anything though, did it? Like just Thor.
It set up the Avengers, the end credit scene, and I think the Tesseract mentioned. I don't.
They mentioned the Tesseract.
No, I don't. It was so long ago. I got that. When I was little, I only watched the action scenes.
I feel like Jon Favreau is a talented director who needs a good script to make his movie good. It's like Ridley Scott. Like if the script is bad, the movie will be bad because it's just the way it works. And I feel like that's kind of what happened with The Jungle Book and how that movie was a bit bad, at least in my opinion.
I liked it. It wasn't good written, but it was like.
Isn't he like doing The Lion King?
Yeah, that's why I'm terrified because Lion King is important to me.
And Jungle Book 2. What? Jungle Book 2?
Jungle Book 2. Is that the sequel?
That's Swedish. My Swedish coming through.
Is that the sequel to Uncle Buck? Jungle Book.
I read it in Swedish on the IMDb page, and that they say Djungelboken. And then I
what does that mean?
I mixed both. It means Jungle Book. I mixed Swedish and English, so it turned into an inconsequential mess.
You know what? We will forgive you for this and move on to Thor because we shouldn't spend too much time on this thing. Thor.
Who made Thor?
I've seen Kevin Branagh, who is the guy who makes a bunch of Shakespeare movies. He also did Murder on the Orient Express, the new one. Kenneth Branagh.
Oh.
He plays plays like the admiral guy in Dunkirk.
Yeah,
you know the one that like stands on a platform for the entire movie, and he like takes his hat off when stuff happens, and that's basically all he does in the whole movie.
He takes his hand off and stuff happens.
So, why is 4 bad?
Yeah, I don't think it's bad.
It's not that bad.
There's redeemable
it's fine.
qualities. It's very.
It's not good.
It's about the most generic Marvel movie, I think.
Yeah.
Apart from Age of Ultron, but we'll get onto that later.
I don't think Age of Ultron is that generic, but it's bad. So yeah.
I think I don't think Kenneth Branagh is fit for like massive budget Marvel movies.
Yeah.
It's not his scene, which is fine.
Yeah.
But like I think the best part of Thor is the visuals, not necessarily the cinematography, because that's pretty like annoying. Like all the Dutch angles kind of make it a bit difficult to watch. But it's like the way they depict what's it called? Asgard. The way they make Asgard look, and it's all very grand and massive and really good looking. That's the best part of the movie in my opinion. And then I don't really like the fish out of water stuff, but I've never been a fan of fish out of water comedy. Really, unless it's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Overall thoughts?
I think it's kind of good that like the movie's the reason why he happened on Earth is his fault. I think that's a good thing that he was pretty much he acted like a child, so Odin took away his hammer. So
that does seem to be the trend for Phase 1 Marvel, is that the main characters are kind of assholes.
Yeah.
When I say Phase 1 Marvel, I mean Thor and Iron Man. So like half of all the characters. I don't know about Incredible Hulk.
Incredible, I think he that it was kind of his fault, but he did it for good reason. So he was kind of a good person.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I appreciate that Thor had an arc in the movie, but like even if it was a generic arc, it was like a predictable one. At least it was something, I guess. Like I don't think Incredible Hulk had that.
Yeah, but, and Iron Man had also an arc, and that was way better than 4.
And also, I think the fact that they did set up Asgard in the way that they did was beneficial to the whole Marvel, like Marvel. At least Thor Ragnarok, which is the best one of the Thor movies.
Okay.
They do a good job of setting things up. I guess that's I don't know. There's not much to talk about with Thor, is there?
Yeah,
it's pretty generic.
There's not. Yeah, it's like, and so and this is like.
Is it Captain America?
This is the last bad one.
Alright.
This one movie, so we're soon done. What's your opinion on Captain America, the first Avenger?
It's good, for the most part.
Yes. I think the first part's like I think is the best part. The one where
the first part, I completely agree. The first half is actually good, like it's a 6 out of 10. But the second half is just stupid war things with the red guy.
I'm shooting
like
the red guy.
It's the end with the plane thing.
Yeah, I think the moment
I have to put it in the water.
I think the moment Hugo Weaving pulls off his mask, and then he's got a big red dumb face. I think that's where it goes epically downhill from that point on. Because it was good up until that point, and then it just oof. Like the part where Steve Rogers is like a really small guy, and then he proves himself as a human being, and then becomes Iron Man, Captain America. Sorry.
Oops. The first part is they make him. The story about him is quite interesting. He's really weak and he has good morals and wants to do good. And
I don't know if it's kind of undercut, like the whole message about it's even if you're weak and small and socially outcasted, you can still be a good person. It's kind of undercut by the fact that he becomes a giant guy.
Yeah, but that's kind of. I think the message is that you get rewarded for doing good stuff, and that was his reward. Getting steroids.
he gets mad rips. The entire movie. I don't know.
And one thing.
The best part of the movie was the muscle reveal.
Yeah,
Wait.
I don't know. I like.
I also
certain
love how
visuals.
they put they had a child and they put I think they had a child and they put Chris Evans' face on it and it didn't look bad at all.
I know,
It was
like I know.
fantastic.
I think I saw it for like a maybe a year ago.
Hmm.
It was somewhat recently, like so it's sort of a little bit fresh in my mind. But I was like looking out for like prop issues with the visual effects, but it never looked bad to me. Like it was pretty
kind of obvious
convincing.
that it is like CGI. When I was small, I was a child, I didn't notice, but
Yeah, but children are really stupid, so to be fair.
yeah, especially me.
Yay.
Uh,
That's okay
but
though.
and also one thing I think is weird that he gets to the future and he's also kind of a fish out of water character, and that's Thor too. So why have two fish out of water characters?
Yeah, I guess, but I guess
like,
they don't focus on it as much.
yeah,
I guess that's
Captain
for the
America
Avengers.
adapts better. So yeah, you can say he doesn't feel like in the other films. He doesn't feel like he's a 100. He's from the Second World War.
Yeah.
If he so yeah.
Yeah.
But in the end, it kind of feels like he's gonna be that character because he goes out in New York and everything's new.
I think it's a movie that has a lot of good elements, but they don't all come together like in a completely coherent way.
Yeah.
So it's an overall good movie, but it's a bit messy, I guess. But it does its job, I guess. It's like it comes and goes, and it's like here's the character. There you are. Although I've always found Captain America to be kind of a boring character, at least until Civil War.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like he's so obsessed with like nobility and like you got to defend your country.
Yeah, we can move to actual good film ones. The Avengers. What's your opinion on Avengers, everyone?
I like the part where they stand in a circle and then they look at things. That was great.
It is pretty epic.
Yeah, epic.
It's. I think that's the word to describe.
Captain
Avengers.
America's helmet looks like shit. Like what is that?
Yeah.
I even when I was a child watching the movie, like I was like that looks really goofy. But that's like a nitpick, I guess. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I think
it's a good movie, but like I don't know how anyone took him seriously. A fucking mask. Jesus Christ.
It's kind of cool that this is the first time they like did anything. They set up 5 movies. Only one that's good, but still. And they created this, and it came out really fun.
Yeah. I'm not a massive fan of Joss Whedon. Like I just like I've never really clicked with his movies or his like style. But like I understand the appeal of Avengers.
What movies has he made? Like what other movies did Joss Whedon make?
The Firefly TV show, followed by the movie Serenity, which is like the Firefly movie, and I didn't really like that one very much. But I haven't seen Firefly, so I guess that's probably why I didn't like it. But that's anyway. Yes, Avengers. Avengers.
I think they were kind of has anyone really done like the action scene in the end. It's really well made. They made everything. I think the whole city of New York was in CGI.
I know it looks fairly convincing, really? At least from what I can remember.
Yeah, that was CGI. Okay.
Yeah, everything. They had cameras who filmed all of like in New York, and then they added some things like the tower and all.
Yeah.
I think it kind of I think I like I like the enemies. They don't feel like super generic.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. They're not like super creative. They're not like the ones in Infinite War, which we'll talk about later. But
they're like 4-legged motherfuckers.
I think that was their kind of way of replicating the Avengers scene, I guess, where there's like hundreds of enemies that all look the same.
Yeah.
But it's done better in Infinity War, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, I don't know. I've never been a big fan of like the put a bunch of putty soldiers in a line and let the superheroes destroy them. But you know, I can understand. I think it's really well choreographed for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem we need one thing that's really important with these large battles is supposed to be variety. Like in Lord of the Rings, there's a lot of variety in the enemies and
and that's what they
the
that's
heroes,
what they lost in the Hobbit movies, I'd say.
Yeah, but yeah, in the third Lord of the Rings, there's the elephants, there's lots of different orcs, the giant ones, the normal ones, there's leaders and all that. And then there's the heroes, there are dwarves, elves, and ghosts. It's like a lot of variety.
And then the fact that they're all done in makeup makes it like they all look unique in their own way.
And you can see the difference between the two. You never like say you never mix up I mixed up the dwarves and the elves, and you don't do that.
The production design's good enough that you could pick up on these different things going on. Basically, like Lord of the Rings proved it was possible to make that kind of action scene really good. And then I guess Avengers, they didn't have as much time to prepare that sort of thing.
So we're done with phase 1. It was many bad movies, a few good, but the most of the problems were they were kind of trying to find the footing, they're trying to find their style.
Yeah. And I guess because they were investing so much money in this like really important, well, not important, it's the wrong word. It's kind of it's quite ambitious idea. I imagine they wanted to play it quite safe, and that's kind of what happened with the.
And I think the Avengers was that was when they finished Avengers, they found their style, they found their business model.
Yeah.
So then they came over to phase 2, where the first movie is Iron Man 3. What's your guys' opinions on Iron Man 3?
I love Iron Man 3.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's my favorite Iron Man.
Yeah, it's mine too, actually.
I mean, considering I've only seen Iron Man and Iron Man 3.
But you don't need to see Iron Man 2. It's like I think the better part is that I think the first 2 parts of Iron Man is better than Iron Man 3, but Iron Man 3 is better.
Iron Man 3
it's like consistently good. It's consistently equally good through the first half, and then the first act, second act, third act. It's equally good. And Iron Man is 2 great acts, and then it goes shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think this was kind of the dawn of Marvel movies sort of letting their directors insert their own personality into it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Shane Black does come through in this movie.
That's the reason why it works. Shane Black is a great director, and I think the Marvel kind of gave a bit of freedom now because
they knew it was successful.
Yeah.
And Shane Black is a very talented guy, so.
Yeah, he's very good with like doing violence in movies. He's good with. He's also pretty good. What to say? I don't know. He just makes good fun movies. He's good with that type of character. I don't.
Kind of a flawed, damaged, but still kind of a funny character.
Yeah, a guy that takes his.
Tony Stark's probably about the most Shane Black character that exists. So so it's perfect.
Robert Downey Jr. played the 2 characters in Shane Black movie. So
I think what Iron Man 3 is good at is kind of continuing Tony Stark as a character. I don't know about Iron Man 2, but by the sounds of it, there isn't much of an arc there for Tony Stark. He's just kind of there now.
There's nothing.
Yeah, so Iron Man, I don't know. It's the natural development of Tony Stark as a human being.
It shows his. Yeah, I think it's the best. It shows his human emotional side. He's very protective of when he has anxiety, and he tries to
Wasn't it supposed to be about like his alcoholism?
good.
Sorry.
Like it was like,
Lorenzo.
wasn't it supposed to be about his like? Shit. No, I have to. No, never mind. Like it was supposed to be about his like alcoholism or something, but then they they fucking whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I might be pulling shit out of my ass. I don't know. I heard this off the internet.
Was he going to be an alcoholic in the movie, but then they changed it, or is that what you're saying? Or I don't know.
I was say that Iron Man it's about Iron Man really trying to be a hero, but he fails because he is essentially himself. He caused many of these bad things to happen with the villain. Also, that's why many people hate it, because of the villain.
Yeah.
Two villains, because most people expected it to be the bald guy, and I think the twist was actually really funny and a clever, it's a clever spin on it, and it made me surprised. A lot of people hate it because it doesn't follow the comics.
I don't see what the problem with them not following the comics is, because it's worth it, I guess, in this situation, because it's a very strong it's a strong twist, even if the main villain in the end is like is businessman. Yeah, which seems to be the trend with the
I think the thing is that Tony Stark made it so kind of made him into a villain.
Are the Iron Man movies a commentary on how capitalism is bad? That would be a hot take.
I think it's Tony Stark. He kind of
what the fuck?
The reason why the villains can exist.
Alright, so
what's wrong with that?
I had a blackout. I had a fucking blackout. I've never had a blackout.
What are you talking about?
The fucking blackout. Shit, blackout. Fucking something tripped apparently, and then goddamn everything in the house fucking stopped. So my Wi-Fi got turned off.
Oh shit.
Oh.
I think the apocalypse is happening.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Have fun in Nukes.
Town. You missed a couple of things while you're talking. We're now at the end of the podcast, so we're supposed to end it now.
We were talking about our illustrious sex lives. It kind of took a weird turn, but now we're here. So.
Yeah. Does Hugo like to dress up as Yoda?
I thought he was going to dress up as yogurt. I mean, we're not judging this. We're all human beings.
I mean, Yoda.
Yeah, I love Yoda.
I feel like, dressing up as Yoda for sex, I feel like that'd be great.
How many people have dressed up as Yoda for sex? How much do you want to bet?
Like the number has to be like in the thousands, because it's not a very like creative idea, but it's enough for people to like, hey, I should do this.
This is like, the more I think about that, the more funny it gets. Like I'm just imagining them committing to the character. And
I'm about to.
What would the other person do? Like,
birth pills have you taken? Taken down.
Broke the condom has. And then like when they like the guy playing Yoda gets called up. Or I guess if the woman is playing Yoda, like they call up the person they had sex with 9 months later, like, pregnant I am.
Damn it. Why? Why?
It's just,
okay, we're keeping this in.
For sure. This is amazing. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Right, I think we just came up with a sketch idea. So anyone listening to this, like all three people listening, all 3 people listening to this podcast, don't steal our ideas.
Yeah, and all 3 people are us, right? We're the only ones who's gonna watch this.
I think it's just gonna be like my friends from school, and so it. Honestly.
This is the world's best turn of events.
They watch my accidentally. First of all, I remember one of my friends subscribed to my channel, and then I got in the notifications and saw my video. And I was like, oh no, I didn't want to. And then I accidentally told all of my other friends. I said, they said, you haven't even made a short I said I wanted to like make films on YouTube, and they said that you haven't even made one, and then I said yes I have, and then I realized I made a mistake, and then I told them, and then more people want to hear about. So I made my videos private.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't like them, so yeah. They're mostly me depressed and like shit, and not editing and that.
Fair enough. Well,
So I think
we
it's
have
a good
come up
topic.
we have come up with a sketch to put on your channel. So that's you have to play Yoda though. That's the rule.
Yeah. Okay. Now we move to For the Dark World.
Oh, this one will take 2 minutes. I'm timing it. That is how long this section is going to take. Oh shit!
And
What just happened? Did Lorenzo leave?
Alright. Hello. Alright, so it happened again.
I think you're actually going to die. Like this is the end for you.
No. My dad found out it was the kettle, like it's the electric kettle, and it's broken. It's short-circuiting everything apparently somehow.
it's
So-
Your hot water machine broke. Is that what you're saying?
My kettle is the cause of World War III. That's what's happening.
Is your kettle about to like nuke your entire city?
Yeah, the kettle is gonna cut off all the power to everything.
Oh,
We're gonna
good.
die.
Have fun in Fallout World. That's what you call it.
Fallout World.
Alright, sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. We're right, Thor the
At least
Dark World. We're gonna talk about
No. We're talking about Yoda sex. No, we're going back to that.
we talked about Yoda sex for too long. We need to talk about
okay,
Thor.
okay.
For the Dark World.
We have something much more important.
For the Dark World is
Yes,
easily
sir.
the worst Marvel film.
That's a
But
good.
it's not
that's fair.
it's not like fucking. It's not offensive. I think.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
super
that's just
bad.
a-
None of the Marvel movies are offensive. That's kind of
It's
part
like-
of the issue.
It's like a
Yeah.
4 out of 10. But it's
Yeah.
it's like bad. The villains suck. Sucks. They're like they have
Dark elves.
enemies.
Who
The
is the
enemies
villain?
are like super bland.
Is Loki
It's a
the
dark elf.
Wait, who's the villain?
Loki. They team up with Loki because
Loki the
because
villain?
of something. They guilt trip him into thinking about his mother or something. And the Dark Elves did something, and then like the Dark Elves like fucking like the big Dark Elf is the villain, but he's pretty short.
I
So,
actually
Dark
like. I'm
Elf-
not kidding. I don't remember this at all. I need to look this
Me
up.
neither. I remember Loki dying, but
Oh.
he's not really dead. It's for some reason. He
Yeah.
should have just
Yeah.
died.
I mean, they did that twice now.
Yeah,
They're gonna do it a third time. I swear to God.
It's just like there's nothing really good. There's like no good acting in the film.
Chris Hemsworth had like a shirtless scene that he didn't like. I think.
Yeah,
Like he was shirtless for a bit because I was like,
Really?
yeah, I don't like this. I think
I
so.
get it.
Like he was shirtless in Asgard
Yeah.
for a bit, and then he like
but
flies
I
off
think-
with a
I feel
hammer.
like they had Chris Hemsworth in the films to attract the ladies.
It's
Like,
such a.
he gets
Or the gay
It
man.
is. It's such a.
Don't
Mo-
forget the
it's,
gay man.
oh yes, the crucial demographic of like 0.1% or whatever.
yeah, but
Yeah,
I think we're driving away
like, half of
anyone
the-
that is gay
half
that
of,
is
half, the
listening to
world
this
is,
podcast.
half of the world is women, so they need women to see it. And I think Chris Hemsworth and
All the
the
Chris's
actors
are just women bait.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of it.
Kinda.
I think that was kind of the thing why with Chris Hemsworth.
Why do you think they make fucking Chris Evans wear tiny shirts?
Because
Like-
he's epic.
Like in Captain America 2, you know, the fucking like Captain America 2, the first scene, this shirt
Yeah.
is so fucking
Oh,
tiny.
I think.
Yeah.
I think.
And then Caps 3, when he's doing the helicopter thing.
Mm.
They feel like and then his biceps are fucking popping out.
Yeah.
Does it surprise you that the guy who directed Thor: The Dark World also
Probably.
directed Terminator 5?
I've never
man.
seen Terminator 5. I've never seen Terminator 1. I've never seen any Terminator movies.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
All right, that's next week then. That's.
I just came up. I know why like people special. They try to like appeal to all demographics. They can take Chris Hemsworth to attract the teenage ladies. They have this. They try to. Yeah, they try to appeal to children with all the action and shit. They have high-priced actors so that they appeal to adults. And,
Yeah. I think it's the most transparently Marvel movie.
Mm.
Like it's the most Marvel movie that exists, I think.
Yeah.
As in, it's so obviously bad and like manipulative and corporate.
That, Marvel has become addicted. Like Marvel movies.
I know exactly.
It's
like what?
it's
Like that's how I judge Marvel movies. Is how Marvel they are.
Yeah.
Like Phase 3 is the best one because it's the least Marvel of them all.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's basically how I judge all of them now at this point.
It's just like really bad. It's like there's no point. Not really bad, but everything is just kind of bad in the film. So there's no point talking about it because there's no praise. Like
there's nothing good.
Your Loki is kind of good because he knows he I think Ralph the Movie Maker said this, but he knows he's in a bad movie, so he just kind of jokes around.
He's just fucking around, yeah. No one cared about this movie. That's what the issue is. No one gave a shit because it was bad.
Yeah.
And then the reason Thor Ragnarok is good is because it was directed by people and starring people that actually cared because it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get onto that later.
Okay, now we start with Captain America: The Winter Soldier. What's your opinion on that?
I'm gonna be honest. Sorry, go ahead, Lorenzo.
Yeah. No. That's all I had to say.
Thanks. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen this one in a really long time, and I don't remember very much from it, so I don't have much to say.
I've seen it a couple of times.
I was in the middle of rewatching it earlier, and then I forgot about this podcast, and then I came. Yeah. So like, I was like a third in, I think, or like a quarter in.
And
yeah,
was that quarter/third good?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I liked when Captain America argues with the black man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that the highlight? Is that the highlight of the movie? Not like the political thriller aspects. It's like I like the part where the black man
he argues with the the one-eyed black man, Nick Fury. He and then he told the story about his grandfather carrying on a gun in an elevator. So that's great.
Good. I don't know, Hugo. What do you think of Winter Soldier?
I think it's kind of. Some people think it's like the best like superhero movie ever, and it's one of the best movies ever. But I don't get how. Like. First of all, I don't think. Like. I don't think the action is as good as people say it is. It's mostly just
I don't see it. Like I see people praise it on Twitter, and I don't fucking see shit.
Like
they're just like it's like a spy. It's like it has like spy move action, like a James Bond film, but it's like less exciting than that.
I mean, there's a lot of
less like cars and shit and.
It felt like a Jason Bourne movie, but like not quite as good. As in, like when we're talking about Bourne Ultimatum, which is, or I don't know, one of a really good Jason Bourne movie that isn't quite as good as that, but it's like close. It's like Bourne Supremacy. That's how good it is. That's like that's his level of quality. It's kind of got. I don't like the shaky cam in a lot of movies. I know that's such a film Twitter thing to say. It's like shaky cam is bad, but because sometimes it can be good. But in this case, I think it's a bit overbearing, especially on that highway scene.
You don't follow like what's happening all the time.
Yeah.
It moves a bit too fast. And I think,
although I think it was a more stylistic choice than they were being lazy. But I feel like they didn't fully pull it off, I guess. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Okay. Shit. We can talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. Nice.
Oh yes. I like it better than the second one. Alright. Okay. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. I'll start recording. Have you started recording?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. After Captain America, we speak about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yay!
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm more than happy to talk about this one. It's the best one. I mean, it's up there.
It has style. I think I like James. It's because it actually has a director has a vision.
Yeah. It's the first. I think at the time it was definitely the most unique Marvel movie that was out at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in the cinema because I thought it looked really bad, and then I saw. I think the shock of it being really good, kind of, it threw me off a bit, and that's why I like it so much because it was kind of surprise. It was a lovely little surprise. And I've seen it like 5 times, and it's very good. Sorry, I'm not got anything productive to say here.
It's really fun to watch. Like they can all pretty bad people that like they betray each other all the time and like shit. But they must like do good. They must go. I don't know.
Yeah, Marvel
aggressive people and they become kind of good in the end.
Yeah, well, I'd say Marvel's at its best when it's when it's concerning like flawed characters, like extremely flawed characters who have to go overcome said flaws in the movie, and that's why the Guardians movies are good because they're generally kind of bad people who are thrown together and they learn from one another as bad people, and they grow a bit and make themselves slightly better. Except they're all pro extremely murder. But yeah,
like it has a good like 80s 70s feel, and like the soundtrack is like it's my jam. I love like metal songs. Moon's Dream by David Bowie, the Hooked on a Feeling thingy, the Redbone.
I absolutely love the soundtrack they went with. I feel like every song is really fits the movie. It doesn't feel like nostalgia bait. It feels like an identity for the movie, and it's good.
It's a good. It shows Peter Quill's character. It shows it kind of describes how Peter Quill is as a character.
Yeah. And I'd say it's really strong.
He still lives in the 80s. He went away from Earth in the 80s, so he still lives in that 80s mindset.
Yeah. I think it's a very strong movie, and it's got a lot of strong aspects, and it's really funny. And it was the funniest Marvel movie. I think it is the funniest Marvel movie, except maybe Spider-Man: Homecoming, but obviously we'll get onto that. But I think very comedically strong. I feel like I think in a YMS review, I think he said the Marvel movies are at their best when they're not taking themselves too seriously, and I think that's why I wasn't really bothered with Winter Soldier. It's because it took itself deadly seriously, but I wasn't fully invested. But then with Guardians of the Galaxy, it's so goofy that I was just on board the entire time because I was like, yeah, this is really dumb, but it's like really good. So it's just a lot of fun.
I think Humor Sucks said this review that they didn't take the style and the craziness too far. It still felt like the color palette was still like kind of Marvel-esque and they didn't do lots of crazy things. And I think that was fixed in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yeah, no,
we'll get on that later, but
that's fair.
I feel that way.
I think Guardians 2 is basically Guardians, but like amplified, I guess. Yeah. For better or for worse.
Yeah. Because like some of this action in this film is kind of It's not that good.
I think it's kind of it's a bit boring looking, like in terms of the color palette. It's quite dark looking. Like it looks like Thor: The Dark World, but it's not that bad. Like it feels like it needs more color, which is I guess that's its downfall. Is that it feels too Marvel-y.
It's a good thing that the characters are really good and the environments are well made, but the color palette and the noises don't work.
And I think Drax is a godsend, and I think Marvel really needed a Drax in its life. And then I mean he's only beaten by Korg, but we'll get onto Korg later. Korg from Ragnarok, but that's a different thing.
Yeah, but in the first movie, Drax wasn't really the absolute funny character. It was very serious then, and then it's not until the second movie when it becomes really this funny guy. In the first movie, he doesn't understand sarcasm and jokes.
Yeah, but it's hilarious.
Later he learns that, and then he kind of learns what they are, but he still doesn't. He doesn't understand.
He's still a bit clueless, and that's what makes him such a good character.
He tries to do jokes in what he understands them to be.
Yeah. Lorenzo, what's your opinion on Guardians of the Galaxy?
I don't remember it. I don't remember shit. I can't. I don't remember. I just have like a shit memory. I think. Fuck. I
Do
don't
you
know.
like it?
I remember really liking it. That's yeah. Because okay, so yeah, well, you guys said everything that needed to be said. I don't think I need to contribute shit. Fuck you. Go on. Move on. We're moving on. Bye.
I feel like Lorenzo might be harboring some hate, but you can let it all out on you can let it out on Age of Ultron, which is the next one. If you don't like that movie.
Yeah, I was gonna introduce that one. Oh,
Yay!
No.
Wait, Age of Ultron is next?
Yes.
Yeah, that would went downhill real fast.
Yeah, Jesus, it went from like top tier Marvel to the absolute bottom of the barrel. I mean, I don't like Age of Ultron at all. It was horribly disappointing when it came out, and then when I watched it again, it just I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same for me. Like, the first time I watched it, I liked Ultron as a villain because he was kind of goofy and funny, and I think I liked that as a child. But it doesn't fit him. It's kind of like
yeah, it's the ultimate. It's like this film is such a tonal clash. Like it felt like Joss Whedon goof, but like clashed with like the serious world-ending consequences.
It's just Tony Stark in a robot suit. It's just evil Tony Stark.
It's boring. It's just boring.
It's kind of it feels just like he does like human. They make him feel so human in the way he talks, in the way he moves. You know that character Vision. He's supposed to be like the human version of Ultron, but he's less human than. I
mean, Vision's
the thing that's supposed to be a heartless robot.
Vision's the most boring character in the whole series. but you know,
why do you give so much personality to this robot character who's supposed to not have any emotions, while you have villains that are supposed to be like human, like the Iron Man villain. He's supposed to be kind of human, but they don't give him any human emotions. While you give this robot, who's supposed to be a heartless killer who doesn't have any emotions and doesn't feel anything, and they give him like the most he's the most human character in the film.
Yeah.
Why?
I remember this was the first time I got excited for a Marvel movie. I think I was about that age where I was like looking at trailers and I was like, this is gonna be awesome. And then
me too.
And then because I got really excited because I think I'd just seen The Dark Knight for the first time, and I really liked the Joker. And I think I was in that mood where I wanted villains to be like dark and horrible. Because the Joker is such a good villain. And I don't think he's yet to be topped in comic book movies at least. But he's I think I just saw The Dark Knight. I got in that mood, and then the trailers for Age of Ultron came out, and they were like, here's Ultron, and he starts quoting Pinocchio. In hindsight,
in a really terrifying way.
Yeah, in hindsight, a bit goofy, but at the time I was fully dead set on Marvel going really serious. And I was getting excited for it, and then it came out, and I was like, "Oh, this is just fucking Tony Stark." But
also
he's a robot
this is
now.
the first movie where the problem is that they have too many characters. The characters don't get enough. They don't develop that much. Like there's this relationship between Hulk and Black Widow that goes nowhere.
Yeah,
it goes on for
I do remember thinking that was very odd. Just that whole subplot.
It's never mentioned again.
I do think the issue with Age of Ultron is that there was too much going on.
Yeah.
Like they didn't really conclude anything, or at least when they did, there wasn't enough there to begin with.
It felt like Ultron were defeated too fast. Yeah, even though the movie is really Age of Ultron.
It kind of felt like Magnolia, but an Avengers movie.
Yeah. But Magnolia, they don't have to. In Magnolia, they don't need lots. They don't have action in Magnolia, so they can use
the time to develop characters and that sort of thing.
They have an hour action in the Avengers Age of Ultron. Instead of that hour action, they have character development in Magnolia.
Yeah.
And
I feel like if Paul Thomas Anderson had made Age of Ultron, it would have been a better movie.
Yeah.
I want to see that, Paul Thomas Anderson's Avengers.
We need,
that'd be amazing.
Thomas Anderson makes a superhero movie. That would be He's never made an action
What
film.
if that 600-page script that he's written is actually like the next Avengers, and we're about to get bamboozled? It's gonna be awesome.
That would be great. Thomas.
I would be so on board with that. All right, we're talking about Ant-Man. We're talking about Ant-Man.
What else is
Ant-Man.
there to say?
I haven't seen Ant-Man since 2015 when I watched it in the cinema.
Oh.
Me neither, and I still can't remember.
I think the most interesting part of Ant-Man is
They were real small.
the superhero. Yeah.
The
his
visual
powers,
effects. I like the visual effects, and like I like the way they're handled. They're very creatively done. I feel like that was Edgar Wright's inclusion in a way.
How do you feel about Michael Pena's character?
Michael Pena.
I am not gonna until I saw the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer. I forgot Michael Pena was in this movie at all.
I'll refer to him as the Chips guy. Because Chips was
Mr.
Because
Chips.
I liked him in the movie, even though he wasn't like funny for the whole thing. He was kind of obnoxious, but like.
It was Michael Pena. He has like he's an adorable Mexican. So.
Yeah, he's adorable. He's like he's an adorable little Mexican.
Yeah, we need the minorities in there.
Yeah.
It's is he good? I don't know. I can't remember. I remember being annoyed by the movie. Just in general.
No, me neither.
Like I think I was a fan. Like I only just got into like Edgar Wright movies, and I understood who he was as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I understood who he was as a person.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's what I mean is this was around the same time I started actually getting into movies a lot more.
Oh.
And so I knew like who directors were, including Edgar Wright, who's like my favorite director at the time, and he still kind of is. But anyway, my point is, I remember being horribly disappointed when he was kicked out of the production for the movie, and then when I saw the movie, I could tell it was just a mishmash of random bullshit that they somehow cobbled together from whatever Edgar Wright made to begin with.
Mm.
It felt like Edgar Wright light the movie.
Do you feel like there's an Ant-Man porn parody somewhere where he uses like a big enlarging ray, and he makes his dick bigger?
Do you think they have the visual?
It should be a thing, right?
Do you think they have the VFX budget for that?
That's actually a move idea. The kind of a move idea I have, and you guys should stop stealing it.
Yeah, no, you can't say this on the podcast because everyone's gonna steal our ideas.
No.
I feel like all of our outtake moments are. I feel like there'll be a separate video for outtakes where we talk about sex and porn. Because that's all it is.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Both of the podcasts are gonna be equal as long. Both the outtakes and
it'll be cut in half because half of the thing is about like making Yoda impressions.
Edit this. We must.
This is gonna be the worst podcast ever made.
Let's just skip all this. Then we need to go fast because I think we talked about more than an hour. So
we're 1 hour. We are 1 hour 13 minutes in.
Oh God!
It's fine. We're into phase 2 as a whole. What's the opinion on phase 2?
Meh.
Apart from
it has some. It was when they tried to experiment a bit with like getting actually good directors to make it, like Shane Black and
then half of Edgar
James Gunn and half of Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright's torso made the movie.
What's the guy's name who made the Guardians of the Galaxy?
James Gunn.
James Gunn.
James Gunn was 2 ends because his parents didn't know how to spell.
Yeah. Good, nice one, movies, epic burn.
I like that all of these phase 2, all of them are really different. Iron Man is a very Shane Black-esque movie with lots of violence and and anxiety and like bad stuff that we all have as human beings. And For the Dark World is just a generic Marvel film, and that's it. But it's still different from the others. Captain America is a political thriller and / James Bond and
There's a lot of variety.
Bourne film. It's a Bourne film, like pretty much.
Captain America's dick got bigger when he went through the thing.
No,
That's what I've been thinking of while you was talking. I was like, wait, this happened.
Guardians of the Galaxy is a fun 80s action film, and Age of Ultron is like a really big but messy film, but it is different from all that. And Ant-Man is it has a really creative idea and character, but
I can go small and control hands.
It had like a bad. It had like bad directing, and it had so much potential, but it didn't live up to that.
Yeah.
I can appreciate those movies because they were different every single one of them, and they tried to do different
Something
things.
new.
Even though many of them,
Thor and Age of Ultron were the most
they
generic.
were failures. Many of them were failures, but yeah.
I feel like it was the most polarizing phase of the three.
Yeah, actually, that's correct.
Because like you got two of the worst ones, you got two of the most like okay ones, and then you got two of the best ones.
Yeah,
and then
many say that Age of Ultron is great. So it's kind of like many of the films are very polarizing as fast. Like in Phase 1, people didn't like the whole Iron Man 2, 4, and Captain America. No one really liked them, but there are people who really like Age of Ultron, even for the Dark World. People who think
there seems to be like a resurgence in praise for Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah,
recently, or was it Incredible Hulk? It was one of those.
I think it's because they actually like there's so much. There's actually a bit more style in these ones, and there are actually things there are a lot of things that you can like.
Yeah.
But there's also very many bad stuff that makes it not likable. But yeah. So the first phase is to find the footing. The second phase is to experiment, and I think Phase 3 is the best one, and it's the one that they find that they actually end up with a good formula. So let's start Civil War.
Okay.
What's your opinion on that?
Civil War. I need to watch it again.
Spider-Man.
Later. No, we can talk about Spider-Man. He's in Civil War. Spider-Man is fucking awesome.
No, Spider-Man in Civil War. Yeah, he is good.
Yeah.
Like I think they did. You know that Age of Ultron had a problem of having too many characters. This one still had that problem, but they did it way better. And
it was more focused.
They gave like Black Panther and Spider-Man some character.
Yeah.
They introduced new characters, but not too much, so that people would watch their films.
Yeah, it's good. I think I remember the only reason I wanted to see Civil War is because of the new Spider-Man, and I wasn't disappointed because I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. We'll get more in depth on that when we talk about Homecoming, but.
And it's kind of interesting the conflict between Iron Man and Captain America because they're so different characters. Both of them are quite American-esque characters. Tony Stark is pretty much a capitalist scum, and
they both kind of represent different aspects of the American dream.
Yeah, they're like the half. They're like America essentially.
Yeah.
They're America clashing together and with their ideas.
Yeah, if we were to get in depth about it, I think you could definitely draw parallels, like what Tony Stark and Steve Rogers represent as characters. But I think it's clever that they clash. It makes sense that they clash. I'm not fully convinced as to like Tony Stark going completely against.
I think the biggest problem with this film is that it takes itself too seriously.
Yeah.
All the Captain America problems, all the Captain America films have this problem.
Yeah.
They take themselves so seriously, and.
I mean, not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it's kind of a detriment to this movie.
Yeah.
In a way, because although I'd say at points it doesn't take itself seriously enough, especially the airport. I don't like the airport.
And the airport scene, that's not seriously.
Like when those little moments when like what's her name, Black Widow and Hawkeye like clash, and then they're like, we're still friends, right? I hate that. It's so dumb. I don't like that at all. It's really stupid. But
I
it's,
mean, like I didn't like it, but like I didn't hate it.
But
You
I
know?
think
Yeah, no.
the airport scene is like supposed to be just.
I
It's not
guess-
supposed to hurt each other. You're supposed to get the Winter Soldier,
yeah.
and they're supposed to protect him, but they don't want to hurt each other. And that makes sense. It just feels so weird that scene. Like there's no really tension because no one's gonna die.
Yeah.
No, you know that the only character that got
Well,
hit was,
Rhodey.
was
Oh
Rhodey,
no,
but,
they killed War Machine. Everyone cares about War
What are
Machine.
we
He
gonna
killed
do
him,
now?
I-
It feels
I-
like so. There's
I
like.
would have liked if they actually did.
Yeah, no.
Actually did it
Because
then
it's not like
there's-
anyone cares about fucking Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Well, like there's a theory out there that he's a Skrull. I know this because I'm a big faggot.
What?
So
What
like
is a scroll?
so Skrulls they can mimic like the humans and shit, you know.
Right.
Like they can get like the powers and their memories and shit, and then like they're supposed to like infiltrate, you know, the human race, and shit happens, you know, like so there's a thing called Secret Invasion in the comics, and I'm gonna get into some nerd shit, but like so like a bunch of people who aren't actually them, so
Yeah.
they got like captured or something, and then like no, it's a whole big thing. I don't know much about it, but then that's a theory, game theory.
It's just a
Thanks
game
for
theory.
watching. Yeah.
I like actually. I might be alone on this, but I think Terrence Howard is better as Rhodey than the other guy.
I like
the one
Don
from
Cheadle,
Iron Man
but-
1.
I think I need to rewatch Iron Man and Civil War. I think because everyone's talking about how great Civil War is, so I kind of want to rewatch it again because I haven't seen it in a little bit, just to like
Let's
refresh
rewatch
my
it. It's on
memory.
Netflix.
Yeah, no, it is
I
on
think
Netflix.
I think Captain America also has the failure of being like if it's not that like direct. It doesn't feel that it doesn't have like great directing. It's the same person who made Captain America: The Winter Soldier and Infinite War, and I think they get better at directing. There's two
Yeah.
people. They get
Yeah.
better at directing through each movie.
They kind of
It-
find
it's
their
kind of
voice in a
bland.
way. Yeah, no,
They-
it felt like the safe. Well, I don't know, but maybe Doctor Strange, but it felt like the safest Marvel movie of Phase 3.
Yeah,
It was the
it's-
beginning, so you know.
Maybe Black Panther. Black Panther might have been more safe, but I don't know about that. But yeah, it was like like fun. I wouldn't know if I would
Yeah.
really watch it. I would just mostly watch like the Spider-Man scenes and I think the airport scene is really fun, but it's not like that good, but it's fun. It's
Yeah.
interesting to see their powers.
It's
flash,
not
but,
awful, but it's not like amazing either. It's serviceable.
It's just fun. It's
Yeah.
fun to watch.
And that's kind of the
It's not
dangerous
good.
thing about Marvel movies is that they get like when they're serviceable, that's when you should probably worry
Yeah.
because
But
like
the
because that's
thing
kind
is
of the
that they're
issue.
The problem with them, they often, even when they're not like that good, they're just serviceable. They still can be fun. They still
Yeah,
many Marvel films like, and we should talk about when I get to Infinite War. But I thought like Infinite War is like it's way more fun than it's good.
yeah, no, for sure.
And no, this is the same with Civil War. It's more fun than it's good.
Although I do like the villain in Civil War. I feel like he gets a bit of a bad rep. I like how he's just some schlubby guy.
Yeah.
he's
It's not
some
really.
schlub.
It would have been weird if it was like a big green guy because most of the fight is between them.
I'm glad there isn't some.
He's just the guy pulling the strings. So.
It felt like quite a personal story, which I enjoyed. I'm glad there wasn't some
Yeah.
big laser in the sky,
Yeah.
because that
I
would
think
just ruin it.
definitely the best Captain America movie.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
agree with that. That's a
So
good.
move over to Doctor Strange.
Oof.
What's your...
Eh.
Hey,
There's certain things I like.
Yeah.
Scott Derrickson being a dick in general aside.
Yeah, I think it's kind of problem. He feels more like he's very similar to Tony Stark, and I think that's a problem.
Yeah,
He's
I feel
too
like his
too
arc
similar
is
to
quite
that character.
predictable, and I feel
Yeah.
like it follows the origin story formula too closely.
Yeah,
It felt like it felt like a
Oh.
really good movie that was just trapped in this structure, this binding structure,
what do
Marvel
you feel
structure.
about the humor? That's a very polarizing thing about the movie.
I mean, it can be funny, but like,
It kind of ruins.
it kind of got in the way of
seriousness.
some good dramatic moments. There's some stuff I like. Like I like some of the recurring images, and I like the visual effects. I think they're really impressive.
Yeah, the visual effects are actually the best thing. They're
And I like Tilda Swinton just as a human being. She's a very good actor.
I was gonna
I
say
like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Well, the cucumber guy. Yes, that's kind of a weird thing. His superhero name is more normal than his real name.
I think no, it's just like Benedict is a name, but Cumberbatch is just weird.
Yeah,
But they both of them together, just like they form like.
I did see
a really long real name.
Yeah, I did see a tweet where it was like if Tom Holland or if Peter Parker finds it weird that he's called Strange, wait until he hears Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, okay, we're moving on.
Also,
because I'd rather talk about Guardians too.
I want to say something about the action. It's kind of weird that they have all this magic shit, but most of it is just punching, and that's kind of, I think, boring. It's fun what to do with the houses and like the manipulator of words, but they mostly punch in the movie, and that's.
I do feel like they could have been more creative. Like I think Infinity War is quite creative with the magic powers.
That's way more creative.
Myself.
And that's mostly in the background. That's like, that's what I like. There's not a focus.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's a focus in Doctor Strange, but it's bad. But it's like really like not thought out, and it's a background thing in Infinite War, and it's like way better and more creatively done.
Yeah.
So we move to Guardians 2, the best.
Yay, the best one.
Yeah, it's so
like fucking good.
It's good because it's not a Marvel movie.
I know, it's a James Gunn movie. Full force.
Like
I don't know if he had.
Really fun...
Did he have full creative control for this one? Because it felt like it.
Yeah, it felt.
I don't know.
It didn't set up anything basically.
I know. It's its own movie, and that's what's good about it.
That's why it's so good. It's a good like 80s throwback movie, and the best part, the absolute best part of this movie is it does actually have emotions. It has love characters, and you can relate to it, like real characters.
It's good.
And,
it's fucking good.
Fighting
it's
with
good
they're fighting with real like emotional problems that everyone. Like,
it's a really relatable movie, and I think it's got a really strong thematic core. It's like everything is kind of purposeful, which is nice. Like, and if you compare it to like Infinity War, and it's not a bad thing to be Infinity War, but Infinity War exists to be like a fun action movie. It's nothing really more than that, which is fine. But like Guardians 2 is about something which is not normal in a Marvel movie. Which is why I like it.
Even though this movie is kind of goofy and like the big like the big head like the guy who's actually a planet, and it is the goofy 80s things, but it doesn't like what was my point now? I was gonna say some meaningful fun, but it likes it doesn't take away from like the emotions and shit. Most people think that you must be 100% serious when you make films about emotions and important things, but they still have this. It's still as goofy as the first Guardians, but it has emotions between it.
But it doesn't feel like like how in other Marvel movies the tones kind of clash.
Yeah, it's
like Guardians 2 takes its themes seriously and its characters seriously, but it's a really goofy movie at the same time, and it all works really well to culminate in this really awesome, fantastic, colorful, brilliant movie. That's so good.
The action is also great. The first one had kind of bad action, but this has great action, and the soundtrack is also great. I frequently re-listen to it, and
I think I liked the soundtrack more the second time I watched it. I watched this like a week ago, and it's so much better the second time around. I think it's because I wasn't sure what I was expecting with the first one, or I was expecting something and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I think it was a bit slower than I expected.
Well, you said that this film has purpose, and it's kind of true. Even like the first scene feels like a stupid thing, because it's just the only thing there it's for, because it's for dancing and that. But it kind of shows it has a purpose. It shows that that the Guardians kind of are parents to Groot, and they try to protect them, and you see them interacting with each and every one of them.
And that the entire sequence is really good anyway, just as its own thing.
Mr. Blue Sky, it's like.
And Mr. Blue Sky is one of the greatest songs of all time, so that does help.
It's like the most happy thing ever. Like, it was written by a guy who he just like looked out the window when it was sunny, and he just wrote it when he was happy going through a train or something. Going on a train.
That sounds about right, actually.
Yeah.
Lorenzo, what do you think of Guardians 2?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like
we're kind of overpowering you a bit.
You are IHE.
No, you're not overpowering shit. It's just I would say more. It's just that I have like I don't know. I'm not very good at speaking what I think, and then like.
Have you been here for this podcast?
I don't remember.
Have you been here for this podcast? It's a clusterfuck. It's just a bunch of random bullshit we were talking about.
Yeah.
I just shit posted. That's my role. Yeah. I'm not good at like fucking intellectual speak.
And that is the most important role of all. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for being here, Lorenzo. It's a good movie.
Alright. So
I think we decided.
I think that was Guardians is it was great because it feels like every aspect is good. Writing, directing, action, cinematography, color palette. It has a good color palette. It's one of the few with a good one.
Yeah, it's the most beautiful movie in the Marvel universe, I think. It's the best shot. Okay. It feels like a B movie, actually. I think.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a James Gunn. Yes. Oh, the B movie makes me want to be deceased.
Deceased. The beast.
Okay. I think we're done praising this one, and.
We're done like licking James Gunn's dick over this movie.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, nice.
Yay!
We're going from
something I know.
Yes. All right, Lorenzo, you can talk about Spider-Man Homecoming. This is your time to shine.
No. You guys go first, guys. Because I'm not good at I'm not good at starting shit. I can only build off other people's shit.
We're going from the best Marvel movie to the second best Marvel movie, so.
It's the best written one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, no. You know what? I think John Watts gets a bit too much flack for not being a good enough director in this movie, but I think a lot of
Did you write the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
John Watts.
No.
I think there's a lot of visual comedy in this movie that is a result of John Watts being a really good comedic director.
Yeah.
And while I think sure like a lot of the action and a lot of the dialogue is shot in a kind of a boring way. I think it's like the visual comedy kind of makes up for it, I think. Like there's a little bit where Captain America's taking the gym class.
Oh yeah.
And then he says now I'll move over to your PE teacher, and he gestures in the other direction. That shit is so funny. Like that, it's like those little moments that just make this movie so great.
I think it's just that he's a really good writer because he wrote it too. So
did he?
He wrote it? Okay.
Yeah, he wrote it. I think he's a good comedic writer. This is the best. I think it's the best written Marvel movie, and I think that's what makes it like the directing isn't that good, but it kind of makes up for it with the good writing. That's why it kind of feels like TV shows sometimes, because TV shows, they aren't really carried by directors. They're mostly carried by the writing.
Yeah.
And
it's great. Yeah. The writing it's the funniest Marvel movie, I think.
Yeah, it's easily the funniest.
Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. And Lorenzo, I don't care what you say. He's the best representation of Spider-Man, I will say, but Tobey Maguire is. He's iconic. But...
I think Tobey Maguire is better, but he's not better at being Spider-Man.
He's Spider-Man's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Like it's not bad. Like he's all right. Like in the first movie, Tobey Maguire movie, he has quips in it, and then Tobey Maguire just sounds really uncomfortable whenever he says them.
Yeah.
Settle down. Let mom and dad talk for a moment.
Yeah.
Fuck. It's
he's
so
a
bad.
different. He's not really the better Spider-Man character. But, yeah. And the friend is actually I really like the friend in the movie.
Ned.
Really
He could have
funny.
been. He could have been so
Yeah,
bad.
I like how they didn't like use his weight as any joke or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was just a
that-
friend.
Yeah.
I think I just like how authentic the movie is. It's got some like high school cliches, but the fact that it's like an 80s high school movie, but it's Spider-Man kind of sets it apart.
It kind of meant for that, but it kind of turns on. It's almost a parody of that, and then in the end it kind of like it doesn't go like it should be. But oh, I'm moving. We're moving because you put my father in jail. So no.
What?
I think I just. Yeah, no, I just like how there are so many opportunities to go with cliches. Like Flash is just a generic bully. Like the villain is just a generic villain, and then like oh no, the world's gonna end if Spider-Man doesn't stop it. It's like, but it's so like it's so honest, and it's in the portrayal of all the characters that I just like. The Vulture is the best Marvel villain. Like even with Thanos, I think the Vulture is the best Marvel villain.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Michael Keaton is great. He's a great actor, and I'm glad he got a good role in Birdman. Because now he gets to act in films. So. Yeah,
it's great.
And it's
Michael Keaton's a wonderful boy, and he's a great guy. I like the twist where I guess we're doing spoilers, aren't we? So the twist where he's Liz's dad was so good.
Yeah.
And like that entire scene, the fact that they play it with no music, they just play it straight. It just fucked me up a little bit when I watched it in the cinema.
And not to be racist, but I think that was kind of good that they made like the doctor black.
Yeah,
it's complete
because that makes a surprise. It makes the likelihood way lower.
Yeah.
Or.
You don't expect it.
Yeah. If Michael Keaton was like a black guy, it would kind of be expected, but with the doctor. But now it wasn't expected at all.
Yeah.
And that's good.
It's good. Like I see people saying like I expected that twist, and I was like, nah.
No,
there's no fucking way.
Fuck off.
You might have like maybe like in the back of your head been like maybe Michael Keaton's the dad, but like. No.
Yeah.
There's no way you figured out the twist because there's nothing that
they could have maybe been skeptical about like why is this Liz character so important to the story? It must be something more.
They could have.
There's related to that, but
it comes back to like why Spider-Man: Homecoming is good is because they could have made it bad. Like all these aspects could have been like with minor changes could have been so terrible. Like they could have made Michael Keaton's like they could have made it so obvious. By like constantly referencing his daughter, he's like, "I love my daughter and my family," and they mention it like once. They mention him once, maybe twice, and that's it.
Oh right, in the beginning, he said.
He shows off his daughter's like drawing, and that's it. Yeah. And it's like, that's so good because then it's in your head.
And you don't remember it.
Yeah, it doesn't treat the audience like idiots, and I just appreciate it.
Yeah.
There's just so much to love about this movie. And it's not as good as Spider-Man 2, to be fair. But
yes!
I know, I was waiting for you to check there.
But there's definitely a weak part, and that's make it, like, it's the directing and the cinematography. That's what
it could have been more adventurous with the cinematography, which I guess is the weakest part.
It's like a really good TV series. It's really good, like, written, it's very good acted.
I was thinking
comedic scenes, but like the way it's filmed, they should have said the technical aspect could have been better with the film, the cinematography, and the directing. Like what makes it a movie is the bad part, but what makes it a good like play or a TV series is what makes it great.
Yeah, I would watch I would watch a Tom Holland TV series with him.
Yeah, exactly. Because like there should be like a Spider-Man TV show because that makes sense, right?
It'd
be
great.
It makes sense.
There's animated ones, but the animated ones suck. The last good one was in 2007.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spectacular Summer.
Okay. Alright, so
we move on to for Ragnarok, who I haven't seen.
Ragnarok? Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I like Thor Ragnarok a lot.
Shit. I liked it. It's very funny.
Yeah,
and colorful.
It's got so much personality. which I love about it. Like it's
My favorite
like
part
it's,
was when they shoot Hulk's
I
ass.
love Taiki Wataichi. How do you pronounce his name?
Taika Waititi.
He's from New Zealand.
Taiki
Don't blame
Waititi.
me.
Taika Waititi. That's his name.
I love
Taika by Africa.
I love
by Africa.
His name. I love the director Toto by Africa.
I love the Hunt for the Wilder People. That's a great movie.
I haven't seen. I have seen What We Do in the Shadows, and that's really good too. It's just like Thor Ragnarok just feels like a New Zealand comedy. It feels like Hunt for the Wilder People, but with a massive budget.
Isn't it like 80s kind of 80s theme? With,
it's got the synth score and it's got
with the Led Zeppelin song.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's the immigrant song is so well used in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a really colorful, really it's really unique, like visually.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they could basically retcon the first two Thor movies was really good. Like who could they kill all the friend characters basically instantly.
Even though I haven't seen it, I feel like the character got a lot better in. I think the character got a lot better because in the Infinity War he's great.
Yeah,
so he must have been.
The Infinity War Thor is the best Thor. I feel like Ragnarok. I really like Thor in Ragnarok, but he's like a goofy man. That he's funny, man. And if Korg is dead in Infinity War, I'm going to kill myself.
Oh, he's not dead. He's definitely not dead. Because someone asked about like Korg dying, and someone asked like the director, whichever director. They asked which if Korg died. They're like, oh no, we're not going to reveal that yet. So he's definitely fucking alive.
I would be so sad if they killed Korg.
I didn't see the film, but I thought he was gonna have a little deep voice because he looked like a character. He was a stone character. But when I watched the clip, he's like,
"Hey man,
hey man, we were about to steal this spaceship. Wanna come?" Korg is by far the best aspect of Ragnarok.
Yeah,
by a landslide.
The worst aspect was like the fucking no.
I guess the villain.
Wait.
Go ahead. Go
ahead. No, you first. I was getting water.
Alright, sorry. I guess Hela is the villain.
Why did you apologize? Don't apologize for that. Fuck off.
I'm sorry. It's Hela as the villain is the weakest aspect, I guess.
Hela.
But, like Kate Blanchett's really likable, and I like it's way better than like the worst Marvel villains. Like she's got charisma, which Kate
Blanchett is
Kate Blanchett.
I call her Kate Blanchett. Richard Blanchett.
Yeah, just
she's
go
a
for
good
it.
actor.
No shame.
Blanchett.
Yeah, no shame.
She's a great
absolute
actor.
shame.
She's been,
I think. Wait, Blanchett is like it's like iron in Tagalog. You know the clothing iron.
Oh.
Yeah, no, right. No, ignore that. That's not going in.
Yes, it is. It's too late.
It's going in the outtakes. Fuck you.
Blanchett, Irish. It's my Irish accent.
I'd fuck you, Blanchett. 7 out of 10.
I think we all would. She's a very attractive woman.
Yeah, even though she's
at the same
quite
time.
old. How old is Kate Blanchett?
She's like
she has to be like 50 something.
Yeah, in her 50s probably.
She's
40s or 50s, late 40s or like early 50s.
She's 48, so yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
She's from Australia.
Would you like Kate Blanchett dress up as Yoda?
Yes.
Well, I mean, if anyone dressed up as Yoda, I mean, like, I'd instantly get a boner, honestly. Like, just Yoda.
That's fair.
Okay, but the only reason why I'm not... Okay, no. That was going to make a really bad joke.
Black Panther, who I haven't seen either.
Disappointing.
I like Black Panther.
I think it's fine. But I don't think it's bad. I think it's fine, because, like...
I don't think it's as good as... It's not as good as Ragnarok. Like 2017 was like the absolute best year for Marvel by a landslide.
Yeah.
But I like Black Panther. It's got a lot of problems, but I respect what they were going for, and I think Ryan Coogler's personality does come through in the end.
Going for Black Panther.
Yeah, they tried to make it like this really serious movie. I think, Then like I don't know, maybe Marvel butted in or something, but I don't know. I feel like it should have been more serious.
It felt like
I don't know, because
there was certain things where I feel like they kind of focused on the wrong things. Like what makes, have you guys seen Creed or Fruitvale
Creed.
Station? Like Ryan Coogler's
Creed
last
or
movie,
Fruitvale
the Rocky movie.
I saw the first half of Fruitvale, but I stopped.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got through Fruitvale Station, but Creed. What makes Creed really good is the visual style, like a lot of handheld, like lots of moving around, and it's really well directed.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't,
Michael Jordan is a great actor.
Yeah, no, Michael B. Jordan is great, and he's one of the best actors.
Michael Jordan, the
oh, sorry, the basketball player.
Yeah.
I love
Space Jam.
I love crying Michael Jordan
Michael Jackson
in
pop.
Yeah, I love Michael Jackson is the best. Michael Jackson is the best part of
Michael Jackson.
Black Panther. Did you like the part where Michael Jackson showed up in Black Panther and he was like,
I'm alive.
You're alive. He just shows up in Wakanda. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
He's been away from 10 years with just hanging around with kids.
And then
no, he's like, T'Challa's like, no, we must stop the Michael B. Jordan from killing all the white people, and then Michael Jackson can go, no, you're just ignorant. No, guys, we could just all be friends.
Isn't he like black too?
Wait, no, he's
Like,
white.
like
I think he like got plastic surgery to be as white as possible.
Yeah, he was black, and yeah, became white for some reason.
Wait,
I don't know.
So he has the power of both.
If Killmonger wanted to kill all the white people, does Michael Jackson come under white people? In this universe, he's alive as well.
He's in the middle.
We're talking about Michael Jackson.
Okay.
You know, honestly, this was the best way to talk about Black Panther, I think.
Yeah.
So, especially since I can talk about it.
Overall, Black Panther.
Didn't you like it?
I like Black Panther a lot more than I did when I first saw it. It's gone up in my books, and
Really?
I want to watch it again at some point because I really quite enjoyed it. And I got boring, like that part where actually, Hugo, do you care about spoilers?
Nah.
Okay.
I think everything is seen in like if you've seen Infinite War, you've seen.
Yeah.
It's-
There's a bit in Black Panther where T'Challa gets like kicked off a waterfall, and they pretend he's dead for the longest time, and it's so stretched out, and it's so bad.
It's so obvious he's not. Yeah.
Doesn't he have like armor that's pretty much in like on?
Oh wait, no, he didn't have his armor.
For that part of the movie,
he didn't have the powers. Yeah, yeah. Because like it's like there's this trial where like, oh, you have to fight this. You have to fight the king to become the king.
It's trial by combat.
Yeah.
Also, I think I haven't seen the film, but doesn't it feel like born in the film when it's only him and he's unkillable basically when he has the armor on.
Yeah.
He can't
But like in the end part though, like there's this thing where like vibranium is useless in this fucking field. So that's what happens at the end. That's why.
It's got
like excuses like that. Okay.
I do think Killmonger's a very strong villain in the movie. I think
he's the hottest Marvel villain.
That's Michael B. Jordan, right?
Yeah, no, he's the hottest Marvel villain. I think that's fair.
Yes, exactly. Alright.
I think his motives are reprehensible, but well, no, his aim is reprehensible.
I'm gonna kill all the white people.
Yeah, I mean it's implied.
Slavery.
They don't actually say it, but it's implied. But yeah, I think
because they don't want to say that in a Marvel movie. Like, kill all the white people. Just fuck you.
The motivation behind it is understandable. It's like Thanos, actually.
I mean, like I kind of agree with Thanos. Just fucking kill everyone, right?
Yeah.
You know, like if Thanos is so powerful, just make a whole separate universe and put everyone else there, and everyone's fine. That'd be great.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to Infinity War. We're finally here. The movie to end
the best part of Infinity War was when Spider-Man gets turned into Ash, and then he's gonna come back.
Start.
I don't feel so good.
This is the part where we put like 900 I don't feel so good memes on the screen in a collage.
Wait, do you do this filming
My
edit
really
visually?
my really funny Jeremy
I
Johns
think
thing
I think
is going
this
front
is
and center.
the part that most people skip to in like I think they're going to skip all the more things.
Which
so
is
you
fair
skip-
because our opinions are really stupid and bad.
Yeah.
And we ended up talking. We did talk about Michael Jackson
Yeah,
for
yeah,
like 3 minutes.
Yeah, almost 2 hours. We talked about the Marvel films almost 2 hours. Holy shit.
Yoda sex.
We talked about Marvel films almost 2 hours. Holy shit.
Killmonger got moonwalked to death.
Yes. No. It was revealed that Michael Jordan became white so he could blend all the white people, right? But then at the end, it's revealed that he takes off his mask. He takes off his black mask.
Yeah, no.
He's like, I'm Michael Jordan.
I'm just imagining like Thanos taking off his mask and he's actually just Michael Jackson underneath.
We need to eliminate all the adults. Just actually.
It's okay.
We're the only ones who survived.
I didn't kill any of the kids. I only killed the adults. We're gonna have fun with the kids. We're gonna kill all the adults and have fun. Okay, guys?
Did Michael Jackson like you know get turned really shit? Like he started off really strong and then he just morphed into this motherfucker.
I don't.
I mean, like I don't know. Wasn't it implied that he's like a pedophile or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's heavily implied.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that South Park episode with him, where he like kills his child, or he kills Kenny, who he thinks is his child? He like wants to play, and then he accidentally like murders Kenny in the episode. It's so good.
Yeah.
And then he like possesses Ike after he dies. I don't know. Watch those episodes. They're really good.
I don't know shit about South Park.
Let's talk. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Infinite War. We'll go back to Infinite War.
Oh yeah, Infinity War.
It's
Infinity War. Yes.
When I watch it, it's like I love about it was like one of the best experiences I had this year watching this film, even though the movie isn't that good.
It's good, but it's not that good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun to watch. It's like I've seen these movies for like forever, and it's honestly really fun seeing all of them come together. And
except that they don't really all come together though.
Yeah, but
because
it's
like
kind of
Iron Man's is there. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like I think like five, six of everyone met, right?
Yeah.
Like they're all in the same place.
And it definitely has the problem of having too many characters, like many of the films, and but I don't think they did it badly because they didn't imply that they had some characters that were in it like Captain America, but they didn't do much talking so that like the plot could go on.
Yeah,
I think that's a good point. If it took out all of the heroes, then it would be kind of boring because it's so. The reason why it's so much fun to watch this like the heroes is that all of them have so many different powers, and like seeing them all like fight against, even though the enemies are like really generic. It's so much. The interesting part is that we see these characters use their powers in different ways. Like the fight between Thanos and like all the others, we see how they all go on the Thanos. They don't just go one out of one, but they like help each other.
Well,
they do the portal things and one distracts one holds the break.
Oh, that part.
Yeah,
no, where everyone just like does all the shit like hand thing.
The gauntlet. No one holds the gauntlet.
Oh, hand thing. Okay.
Yeah.
No, just call it glove. Fuck it, just glove because gauntlet's 2 syllables and glove is 1. Glove wins. Let's just call it glove.
Has there been a movie
Infinity Glove.
where it's essentially the main character is the villain and the villain stays as a villain for the entire movie?
I don't know.
Megamind doesn't count, by the way, because he ends up being kind of a hero by the end.
Excuse me, but Megamind is great.
Megamind is great. I'm not even like unironically, it's good. But like what I love about Infinity War is that it is essentially just Thanos' origin story in a weird way. But it's got all these new other characters, so it doesn't ever get boring, and it's really strong throughout. It's really fun throughout. It's overall just a very good movie.
I was hoping for more Captain America. I was very sad that Captain America wasn't Captain America enough.
I can't tell
I'm not kidding. Because he's you know, at the end of Civil War, and then here, like it's like quite like a big character change, right? He was like, and then like, oh no, I just wanted to see more Captain America. I guess he's great.
Lorenzo, what did you think of Infinity War?
It's good, but it's good. It's good. Solid.
Do you like
solid?
Do you like memes?
Very solid.
Do you
I like,
think?
do
do
I
you
like
think,
memes?
Do you think Thanos is thick as fuck?
No.
Or sorry, thick
No,
AF?
he's not.
And people can't
not
handle it.
enough. I mean, like, I feel like he has like a really big dick. You know.
This
Like-
is the point where we take that picture of Thanos with a giant penis and like put it
Yeah,
on
exactly.
the podcast.
Like I feel like he really does. Like like a guy of his size, like he has to have like a big dick. Because
Yeah.
like they never like focus on his lower half, the lower half of his body. It's always like upper half, so you never really get to see his bulge. And I think that's why. Yeah,
Well,
it's too much for it's too much for the PG-13. You know,
Too much for the kids.
You want, yeah, it's too much.
Oh, actually.
It's a big dick. Whoa.
Do you know one thing I didn't like from this movie? Is the way they handled Peter, Quill, and Gamora's relationship and how they just kind of wrap it
Yeah.
up. Because I think I
like-
think they were kind of building to that point with Guardians 2. Like they weren't quite ready for a relationship.
You didn't kill her.
I am pretty sure she's dead. Like for real. That's why they've like wrapped
Yeah,
up their
she's dead.
relationship really quickly. She's pretty dead. But like
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
yeah, no
like,
my anyway, what I was saying was what I like about Guardians 2 is that they're not like properly in a relationship. But I felt like Guardians 3 would be the point where they'd like finish that entire
Mega bang.
arc and they'd mega bang,
Yeah.
sure. But like I feel like because they wanted to
Orgy
kill...
is like such Orgy is no, fuck off. So
Okay,
sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so orgy is like such a disgusting word. Just call it a mega fuck, right? Because that sounds so much more interesting than an orgy. Because like orgy is like you think orgy, you think of slimy juice. You think mega fuck, you think a lot of people fucking and having fun. You know?
Yeah.
I'm glad this
It's
is
like- it's
something we're
like a
talking
fuck.
about.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, it's alright. Every time there's a tangent, I'm like timestamping it. So just in case.
Alright, okay. So it's just gonna be me talking for like
But yeah,
10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, basically. I don't know. I really like this movie. It's a really good movie. I like
Yeah,
I
it's a
like
good
I
movie.
like how I like how Thanos is the only person that cries in this movie. Because
Yeah.
he's a big baby
Oh yeah,
bitch.
yeah, like you know, I think he looked good. Like the
VFX.
fucking CGI on it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was always
Like-
it was always convincing. I mean, obviously CGI, but like,
Jason Brown's acting really did like.
yeah, no. I assume he
Yeah,
did
it's a
mocap for his face because it
Do you
felt like
think-
a lot of emotion coming
Yeah.
through in the character.
But do you think like Josh Brolin actually cried for that part, or like are they fucking put a CGI tier, or
I
like
feel
do
like
you
he
think
would've committed.
they?
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, his voice is really fitting for the character.
Yeah.
Yes, like he has his wife, but his voice is like so deep. He could be a black cat.
I was really surprised that you know Thanos really loved Gamora because apparently that he loved her enough that that fucking Soul Stone he just gave him the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
Also,
It's
Red
good.
Skull being that guy.
Yeah, that was a bit distracting. I didn't quite get it because
Yeah.
I don't remember him, but like I did see a clip of him getting bifrosted at the end of Captain America. So
Like
that
he touches
explains
the
it.
cube and then he gets
Yeah.
fucking beamed to another fucking planet. It's kind of
I
stupid.
completely forgot. I assumed he just died. I just forgot the part where he died in the movie. Where he obviously didn't.
I never thought he
So-
died because like what it's like if he died then I'm pretty sure that you know his head would be left, you know, like it's like if he did die then you know like his head would just be like on the floor because you know that's his.
I don't think that's very good for
Because,
the
like, that-
kids.
Yeah, but still, you know, it's a red skull. It's a red skull. It's silly. It's stupid. You
Yeah.
know? Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a nice surprise, I guess. Like I wasn't expecting.
Oh,
it
my
at all.
pen. All right. Okay. Yeah.
It's good.
I'm Red Skull. I'm German, and then yeah.
Does that mean they put a Nazi in the movie?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Time to boycott Avengers.
It's kind of weird. I thought it was gonna be like a normal. Who was gonna? I thought in the like Captain America, the first Avenger, was like a normal Yeah, his face got red because he got something on him, but for the
Do you think
The
he's
fact
red?
he was
Do you
an
think he's
alien.
red because he's actually a communist?
no,
No,
Wasn't
he's
he-
red because
wasn't he like 1,000 years old? They said it in the movie. He was
Did
1,000 years old.
Completely forgot.
Yeah.
in First Avenger or Infinity War?
In Infinity War, they say he's
Oh
like
yeah,
1,000.
he is. Yeah.
Shit.
That's
do you
really weird. I thought was he gonna be a Nazi guy from like.
I thought it was just gonna be like a really sad. I thought like. I mean, like it must be fucking hell for him because he's just alone out there. Because who just goes to this random planet to
I mean,
to
he
find a
gets-
soul stone?
Imagine if they'd like teleported to the Soulstone place, and then they like caught Red Skull masturbating furiously. He's like wearing a Yoda costume, and he's like, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
I used to come up with a better idea. What is like Red Skull said? You have to do these things. You have to do this because he wants him to stay there, so he couldn't. He has alone. Like, oh, we need to we need to go on a bike trip to get the Soul Stone. Or what?
Yeah.
And then they go on a bike trip. And then it's like a buddy film. And then we get close friends, and they get closer and close. It becomes
And then
like
they
a
fuck.
buddy film. Yeah.
Oh, this is where my mega fuck thing comes in.
Yeah.
Like they have a mega fuck. Like Thanos uses the Soul Stone to make copies of themselves so they can fuck each other.
Yeah.
Or does Gamora come in, or some? Oh no, that's incest. No,
That's why the Avengers 4 title. That's why the Avengers 4 title is being hidden because it's called Avengers Mega Fuck. Isn't that right?
Can you imagine? If they released, like, they made all these fake trailers to make it look like an actual Avengers movie, and then it was just like a 5-minute porn. That would be so good. That's what I want. Like I want the next one of the Marvel movies just to be like really obvious, like fake. Well, not obviously fake, like convincingly fake trailers. And then when we go to see the movie, we all pay money to see this movie, and then it's like made on a $10 budget. And it's like some like Lego characters getting blasted around by like a 5-year-old for like 2 hours.
Oh yeah, but like
It'd be so good. That's all I want.
Okay. I mean, I feel like okay, that's a good idea, but if there's too much backlash, so maybe Marvel announces like a web series on YouTube or something, and then it's just that. How about that?
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Do you know what I call this?
It's more, you know.
Do you know what I call it? I call it a tangent. I think we've been talking about. We've been chatting shit for like 10 minutes. What were we talking about? Infinity War.
How do you guys feel about the comedy in the Infinity War?
It's funny.
Drax is great.
Drax is always great.
Yeah.
It was missing Korg, but like I'll excuse it.
Yeah.
I mean, like Korg wouldn't really fit though, right?
No, he would. Shut up.
It was a bit too much like comedy in it. I wanted it to be more serious.
At points, it's a bit it like undercuts the drama.
But
that's very Marvel.
I don't feel so good about the comedy.
It's not bad, but it's not really good either. It's not like Guardians or Spider-Man.
I wanted it to be more serious. Actually, this is like weird. This is the first time I wanted a Marvel movie to be more serious than it actually is. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I felt the same way for like Age of Ultron because Ultron was just a piece of shit. But like, I should have said that earlier, but no.
I'm glad that Thanos isn't a funny man because that would have made the movie so awful. if Thanos was cracking jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that would have been so terrible. If he'd been, but he played straight and it works. And then like the comedy comes from the characters you'd expect the comedy to come from, so it's not like awful. Yeah. It's pretty organic. For the most part.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, that's
so good. I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna come back to life for my sequel.
That meme has ruined the emotional impact of that scene.
Yeah, that was like a really emotional scene.
It's so sad.
I'm glad I watched it before the memes like started coming because I watched it like a few days late. Yeah.
I forgot to say this, but I was spoiled for the movie. I knew that Thanos gonna wipe out half of the universe and that Spider-Man's gonna die.
Yeah.
But actually, when I watched the movie, I kind of saw that it was kind of obvious that Spider-Man was gonna die.
Eat the bullet.
Yeah,
I didn't because Right, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, once he actually follows Wick on this journey, it's kind of obvious that he was not really obvious, but it was kind of like expecting he was gonna get hurt. He was gonna get hurt, or something's gonna go wrong. Because I think it feels like it should happen because of so that Tony Stark gets character development.
Yeah.
He's kind of he's very attached to this guy and.
Marvel just really gets a hard on for like making Tony Stark go through shit.
yeah. Tony Stark is the most interesting character, so it's kind of obvious.
The part where they did like a fake out death for Tony Stark when I actually thought he was gonna die actually fucked me up a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, no, he's the good character. Okay. I'm glad they didn't kill him actually because I expected them to kill him. So
also, I used to like realize that, like all the 4 main Avengers they have survived. Thor, Captain America.
Like I think that was on purpose. They're gonna save everyone who died, and they're gonna kill off people who are alive.
No. They're gonna avenge them.
He wants to die, Lorenzo.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't want them to kill Thor. Thor's a good guy. Although he's kind of had an arc, so I wouldn't be surprised. If they kill, like I said on the chat, if they kill Hawkeye, I will end my life because Hawkeye is a good guy, and he doesn't deserve to die.
Peter Dinklage, what's your opinion about
I have opinions on this. It's a serious question. Is it in poor taste to cast Peter Dinklage as like a fantasy dwarf when he's a real dwarf in real life?
He agreed to it. He kind of plays dwarves in like a lot of things. So
yeah, no, but like
he's a big dwarf.
No, but yeah, in this movie he's still a dwarf, but he's just massive now.
Yeah.
Did they do that on purpose as like a joke?
Yeah.
No, it's not. I mean, like I'm sure that they
thought it was very funny, even though the character was supposed to be taken. It was supposed to be taken seriously, that situation, but it was just very funny.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage did a very good job at acting out as that.
I'm not sure what. I don't know. They could have just hired anyone, but they put Peter Dinklage in it.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I don't know. He was good.
Yeah.
He did his job. I like how they paired. I like how they paired Thor with Rocket and Groot. That was an interesting.
I don't know. I don't care. I care. Why'd I say that? Fuck me. So I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. Vision dying. Like that was nice.
Yeah, who cares?
I like how like all of the Guardians except for Rocket died.
Yeah.
Either
Guardians 3 is Rocket being sad for an hour.
It's just him being like an alcoholic, like depressed guy for the entire movie.
When we see Rocket get a new team of people, it's got Rocket and friends.
Yeah.
So he tries to get like new people who's exactly like his old team. But do we find Can we find an 80s guy who's been away from?
This is the new Star-Lord, Smeeter Smill. and he just cuts down a tree. That's Groot. He draws like a face on it.
Because Rocket is like the best character of all of them, and it would be really interesting for like Rocket to try to find his happiness.
Yeah.
Get it together, but
I kind of hope they don't bring Gamora back, because I feel like that would kind of ruin the.
Yeah,
they probably will though.
Because it would be interesting to see the dynamic after one of the crucial Guardians dies, in Guardians 3. It'd be interesting. Also, I excuse Peter Quill fucking up the universe for everybody. I excuse it.
What are you talking about?
It's a very natural response to finding out that the person you love died.
I just looked at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and it looks Mantis is alive in this one. And did Mantis die in Infinity War?
I didn't think Mantis was gonna die. Like anyone I'm just going under the assumption that anyone who died at the end of the movie is going to be alive by the end of the next movie.
I hope they keep like some people dead. Because like
they're not going to kill.
It's like
Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man's staying because everyone loves Spider-Man.
Black Panther is staying. Who else? Doctor Strange. I think they're making a new Doctor Strange. So there you go. Assumedly Nick Fury. I don't know. Although no one cares about Nick Fury.
No, I don't think anyone like Maria Hill's staying dead. No, Maria Hill's staying alive, but then Nick Fury's just dead.
Yeah. You know, I think we've reached our limit for talking about this movie.
Yeah.
We basically talked about everything about this movie. I think overall, Infinity War, very good movie. I think it's as good as it was ever going to be.
Yeah.
I think they, considering it's not really a movie, it's about the least
There should
movie.
be we should have a supercut where everyone just says or it's just people saying yeah. It's just us saying yeah. It's just yeah.
Good idea. Yeah. Good idea. Yeah.
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 Are you just making this harder for me?
So as last one, I think we're done with the podcast.
All the tangents and stuff are going in the outtakes, right?
Yeah, no, we'll make a separate video for weird outtakes. But yeah, that's the end of the Sorrowful Boys podcast.
We hope you enjoyed this.
Yeah, it might have been a
this
complete
horrible mess.
It might have been a complete clusterfuck, but that's okay because it was pretty fun.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to shower.
Who takes showers?
Oh God!
It's a Sunday. No one takes showers on Sundays. Tell a lie.
I need to shower too. You're right.
No.
We woke up early for this for Lorenzo.
Yeah.
So the things we
9
do.
a.m. is not early. I wake up at 9 a.m. Naturally on weekend. What are you talking about?
9 a.m. That is pushing it for me. That is the edge.
Yeah, me too.
Pushing it. What are you talking about?
I'm pushing your mum. Got him. All right, we're ending this. This is the end.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for thank you for listening to the Sorrowful Boy podcast. If you did listen.
No.
Okay, what?
No.
What is happening?
No.
What? Are we just never ending? This is gonna continue for the rest of time.
Yeah. We're doing the podcast into a live stream. Okay, do you go? All right. Okay then. All right. This is fun.
Have we stopped recording? Then I'll leave.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
we have to do an outro.
We'll never leave.
We have to do an outro. Otherwise, we're never gonna end this. All right.
I think we'll
subscribe for more.
Subscribe for epic memes and top 10 videos. And
subscribe for more things such as Kanye West, Spider-Man movies, and
maybe
video games.
Yes,
Stuff.
We'll talk about video games.
Let's talk about video games. Spider-Man video games next time.
Yeah.
And then one day we'll talk about good movies. Got him.
Yeah.
Marvel sucks. I only watch pretentious art films. Fuck you. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is the end. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll hopefully see you in the next podcast. This is where we play lo-fi beats to signal us out. Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, we're ending this recording. All right.
By lo-fi, you mean the Spider-Man 2 pizza theme, right?
Yeah. No, of course. That's
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely happening now. All right. Bye everyone.
Okay.
Bye.